I have a real estate development project that I'd like to do. And this real estate development project is something that I think is great to do now because I've never seen prices so low. And I would like to purchase some land in Mount Vernon. I'm looking at some things on 3rd Street, and you know, what we were thinking about doing is building 3 or 4 houses in a row and knocking them down and building something. And I wanted to know, from your perspective, do you think if I were to do that, first of all, a house is like 60,000, 70,000. I mean, what is it? Is it just because there's a bunch of niggas in this town? Is that what it is?
It's a very bad neighborhood. Okay? Very bad. If you own the houses...
Is it the inhabitants that make it bad, or what is it?
If you own the houses, you're responsible for it in terms of any violations of law, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And tenants are crazy in this town. They'll pull the fucking piping out of the wall and say you did it. They'll break the heater and say you're not providing heat.
So it's basically, this is what these niggas do, basically.
Listen, I don't talk that way, George.
But I'm just saying, let's just be realistic. I'm over here in this town.
There's a problem. There are serious problems on the south side of Mount Vernon.
They're just
serious.
They're just animals, these people.
That's part of the problem, and it's hard to get tenants out.
Oh, that's another thing. Are the courts here favorable to the landlords or to the tenants?
And more favorable to the tenants.
But how could that make
sense?
sense?
All of them.
But how could that make sense to do that? How could it make sense to the judges to be favorable to the tenant when they know that these people are animals?
The statute that's applicable is the Emergency Tenants Protection Act. That's the name of the statute. In the name of the statute, it says that the job of the statute is to protect the tenants. That's what the law is in New York State.
But if it's clear that the landlords are getting screwed...
No, if it's clear, each case is handled on its own.
Right.
You asked me a general question. Each case is handled on its own basis. When I'm on the bench, I listen. If they haven't paid, they get a period of time to pay and they get out. That's all.
But generally speaking, even
Generally
if the landlord's
speaking,
getting screwed,
it's
the landlords, the
it's
tenants...
more difficult here for a landlord than it is in Bronx.
Do you think that's fair?
No.
So then why do you guys do that?
No, we don't. We don't. But then the flip side of it is sometimes I have slum landlords who I put one in jail. I put a landlord in jail 2 years ago because I told him to clean the place up, and he walked in the court and lied to me and said he cleaned it up, and I said, let's go, I'll look. And I went down and the place was a fucking stinkhole. So I brought him back to court and I put him in jail for the fucking weekend for lying to me. Sometimes the door swings both ways.
Right. Do you think...
Got a lot of press for that, don't I?
Do you think if I were to build something close to the train station... Go ahead,
No, my second.
If I were to build something close to the train station, do you think I can get working class people to want to live there?
Which train station?
Mount Vernon West.
That's right on the cusp there. That's right on the border of where things are good and bad. If the economy gets better, you'll get people to move in there.
How about on the south side of Mount Vernon? What would happen if I put a new building over there? Because I have my eye on some houses and a little corner lot that I could really put something around 3rd Street, really something nice. Level ground. I don't know the names of all the streets, but it's a nice piece. I was talking to a couple of the owners. I think I could just basically steal these properties for minimum money. You know, these people are just, I could just throw them some money and they'll sell it. The idea is, can I rent to working class people with all these, you know, bums over here living over there?
Very difficult.
So basically, the inhabitants.
You get Section 8. That's what you get.
No, I don't want to deal with Section 8. You know what? Listen, you know what kind of people Section 8.
That's what you're going to get there.
Section 8 people are basically
human
garbage.
You're going to get Section 8.
But am I not right? Section 8 is human garbage.
The people who are on the low end of the socioeconomic.
And you know what they're going to do to the apartments. I put money into these apartments.
But Section 8 protects you, and it protects the landlord in a sense also. And I'll tell you why. Section 8 does an inspection prior to the people moving in. So they do an inspection. You get a written inspection of the apartment, which shows the condition of the apartment when the tenant moves in. If the condition changes in 5 months, the tenant did it, the landlord didn't do it. So you get some protection by using Section 8 tenancies.
Here's something that I really am excited about. This is what I want to do. I want to build in what's called an enterprise zone or an empowerment
The
zone.
entire
Now,
amount.
what I want to do is I want to set up a meeting with me, you, and the mayor, and I want to go in and I want to know that I'm not paying taxes. Can you arrange that? If I'm going to come into this town and invest millions of dollars and put in a 40, 50 unit building, can you arrange it that I'm just not paying taxes? Because I'm putting money into this dump and I should get something for it. But I'm not dealing. I'm not dealing with the building department people and all that. I want the mayor just to green light the whole thing left and right, and that's it.
There are all sorts of programs which will benefit you if you build in the enterprise zone. Number one, you get tax rebates. You put an employee in there, you get refunds for the employee's salary. You know, you put a super in and a custodian. Those salaries, because of where it's located, the state reimburses on those salaries. Mount Vernon has a tax relief program where for a period of years after construction, you get tax rebates or tax avoidance in a lot of areas. Which program and which combination of programs works for you depends on where, the amount, and the time that it goes up. I can surely arrange a sit down with the mayor for you. That's not a problem.
Do you know him well enough to be able to?
Guy. It's all right. I know him well enough for you to sit down and meet him, but you have to have your project shovel ready in your mind.
No, I know how to do this. This is
No.
what I do.
No. I mean, you need plans. You need architectural plans. You need to show him what you're building, what you're planning
Yeah,
on
of course.
buying, what you're going to build,
Yeah.
what it's going to look like.
No, I'm a good builder. Let me tell you something.
I'm
I'm a
not
good builder.
questioning that.
What I want to make sure is that if I have any problems with the building department, that he's just going to pick up the phone and tell them, get off this guy's back. Because they almost bankrupted me in Yonkers. They made it a sport of trying to, to see who's
Very
gonna,
well said. They do that.
They made
Well,
it a sport.
I must tell you also that the Mount Vernon Building Department's a piece of shit. And it makes Yonkers look like one of the great running building departments.
Oh my God, no.
Right?
Because you know what?
But the flip
I won't
side,
build over here if that's what it's like.
I'm gonna tell you it's gonna be hard. You're not gonna buy in a bad area of Mount Vernon, build easily, and get great tenants. It ain't happening. Unless I have a great relationship with the mayor. Yeah, but
And
you're not
then
gonna get the
things
tenants.
just go a lot easier.
They will go as easy as it can be because I'll represent you. But that's the best promise I can give.
But is your relationship with the mayor strong enough to make problems go away before they start?
No, because the mayor doesn't pay attention to that stuff. But I can point it out to him so that he'll make the phone call.
All right.
But the mayor doesn't bird dog that shit because he's lazy as hell.
All right.
But I know him for 25 years.
Because I, in Yonkers, tried to get a meeting with the mayor to say, listen, your building department is stopping my work. I'm investing big money into this thing. They're playing games with me.
That you couldn't get in to see the mayor?
He was a guy that told me he knows everybody, and then when it came down to it, couldn't get me an appointment with the guy. Couldn't get me an appointment.
I can get you in to see the people in the mayor's office and the mayor himself. That's not a problem. Whether that means you're going to have to make a decision whether to go forward with the project, all right? But I can bring you in to show the project to the mayor and the planning commissioner so that they give you the heads up and the green light, or they give you their input into it before you even start spending money.
What would you charge me to handle a project like this front to back?
I could not do the zoning and planning, so we'd have to hire someone else to do the zoning and planning because I'm a judge here.
Can you get me somebody who...
I'll get you the guy.
No, but I just want him to make,
He's the guy. He's the guy. He handles 85% of the planning and zoning here. He's the guy.
What's his name?